Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast, where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theater. Your movie masters today are Justine, Brent,
Hello,
Dylan,
Hello.
and a weary Dylan. I don't know what he's been up to, but he's
Talking to security cams.
a little foreshadowing. They call foreshadowing. And myself, I'm Colin. Today's agenda, we got Missing from the Book of Search. That's Justine's joke. I stole it. It's a sequel to Searching, kind of. It's in the Searching cinematic universe, the Ing cinematic universe, if you will. And we have a surprise, extremely local movie called The Wedding Hustler. And a Dylan solo mission. We got news at the end. We got a lot to get into. But I want to remind everyone that we have an email and we want to hear from you. It's moviemasters760@gmail.com. Moviemasters760@gmail.com. Email us questions and we'll read them on next week's show, or you can email us comments too. They don't have to be questions. And what I'm asking, what I'm requesting, give us a movie recommendation and a service which it is streaming on. And we may just pick that suggestion out of a hat and talk about it on a future date once we get a ledger deep enough. So hit us with that recommendation if you want to hear us talk about a movie on the show. Geez, that's a lot of buildup, isn't it? Missing is a movie. It's a sequel movie, kind of. It's sort of a sequel. It's you know what it said in Wikipedia about it?
Oh no, what did it say?
A standalone sequel?
That makes sense.
All right.
You can watch it without having seen the first one.
Yeah, if that's the verbiage. Yeah, so this is Missing from the Book of Search. It's a follow-up to Searching from a couple years back. If you saw that one, who saw Searching?
I did.
I saw Searching.
Was it? We'll find out how it compared, because you got big shoes to fill here. This is a movie about a girl whose mom goes on a vacation with a mysterious fellow in Colombia, and well, you read the title of the movie. Guess what happens to her? She goes missing. She can't find her. The girl who is played by Storm Reed, she goes on a quest using the internet and Colombia's version of TaskRabbit, Go Ninja, which may or may not be real. I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just go with it. Movie magic, baby. And she really gets into the nitty gritty of how to find a person. And I'll say it. I like this movie. It was creative. It was weird. It's all on a screen, right?
On some screen.
Some screen. So because there's like a webcam thing.
Yeah.
There's like a camera on the monitor and it's like filming her. And so you see her being filmed on her computer, or if she's FaceTiming someone, it'll switch to FaceTime, or if she's looking in the rear view camera of her car as she's going in reverse, you'll see that. So they come up with a lot of different ways to show screens, so it's not like totally monotonous. Oh, you see her walking around with a one of those smartwatches.
Yeah.
And it's also weirdly not claustrophobic, because she's talking to a guy down in Colombia, so you're getting different locations that aren't just her room. And there's also like a teenager, her mom has left her alone, she's partying, she's having a lot of fun before stuff gets real. But then stuff gets real and she's got to figure out what to do. I thought it was really creative. I was like, it's a hacky premise, right? Like, hey, look, it's all on a computer because you get to save.
Is that a pun?
Hacky premise? No. No.
You just made a pun.
It's not a pun. It's Missing. It's from the Book of
How
Search.
did the thing get resolved?
Hard work and determination.
That's true.
Hacking.
Oh, the internet hacking. That's true. That's true. Okay.
That's a pun.
All right. You got me. You got me on that one. I thought I was thinking like hack and slash.
So you didn't know there was no machetes or anything. It was just like a.
There was a piece of glass or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's action in it too. Don't think you're just
There's some suspense.
Decrypting passwords and stuff like that. And it's well edited. How about that?
Well,
Yeah,
I can speak to earlier. You were talking about was it Task Ninja or whatever?
Yeah, the Go Ninja.
Go Ninja. Yeah. Okay. So for both of these movies, the the movie before this and
Right.
this one, they built all these apps from the ground up, in terms of like like fake websites,
Oh, really?
fake apps. Yeah. So like
TaskRabbit is real, but Go Ninja, the
a lot of the
South
stuff they
American
build,
one.
they build from the ground up, like that dating app. Lovely
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Stuff like that. And then in the first one, almost all the apps were
Yeah.
built and they're fully functional. And when they make these movies, it's interesting because like you don't need to have well lit captures like when you're filming it.
Right.
So they complete all of the filming of it within under 2 weeks, but then it takes over a year to actually
Yeah.
put it together because you're essentially animating.
And what's my favorite movie, Dylan? Unfriended.
Yeah.
That's like all on a webcam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's like lazy. That movie, well, I mean, it's funny,
Well,
but
it's because it's the progenitor for all these movies. So,
Yeah.
like, if you watch the first movie, Searching, there is a reference to it in that, like, one of the characters is in the friends list. On the screen.
okay.
Yeah, there's all sorts of Easter eggs. in all these
Unfriended
movies.
Unfriended is the OG.
It was before.
Okay.
I don't know if it was the OG, but like, I'm just for the sake of argument, I'll say it is.
Sure.
I don't remember them being related though.
They aren't related,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
like they reference it.
It was a shout out.
Yeah,
Oh,
they gave it a
okay.
shout out as like I think it's like one of the actors or maybe even the director is a friend on
Oh,
like on
in the
Facebook
contact.
or
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to, Unfriended is a silly movie. I'll
Yeah.
say that. It's not like I'm mad at Unfriended, but it definitely felt a little eye roll, groan, shake. Old man yells at cloud, because that is just a screen record. This movie really didn't feel like lazy or shoddily put together or like this was what do they call it? A cope. Like they couldn't have, nice cameras and good directors and stuff like that. So they just did it all on screens. It kind of felt like, this is how you tell a story like this,
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it didn't feel long because it just kind of felt like you were on your computer.
Right.
Like everything,
Which is why it felt long to me.
like everything about it was like, this is how you would do this. I guess I wouldn't use my notepads, the sticky notes on.
Right, right.
Yeah, that was new.
kind of weird, but
You're not Team iOS, though. You don't know how those people rock.
no, true. Like I don't leave my camera on the whole time so
Right.
Zuckerberg
Yep.
can watch me
Yeah.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I tape over mine and I do not use those notes.
Yeah, but yeah, everything else, it's like, yeah, password reset.
Yeah.
Does this guy strike you as the type who uses this one password for everything? You know?
Right.
All these things are very real. And I think that's what really made it work. Is okay, yeah, the premise is kind of whatever. Somebody goes missing in Colombia.
Right.
But it's like, how do you deal with this? I don't know. You just go on the internet. You look
Start kicking
stuff
some
up.
tires.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that she, takes that initiative because she is like an internet native,
Right.
And so that's what she knows how to do. And even the people that she's talking to, like the authorities or whatever, are kind of dragging their feet. And she's like, "Look, I'm doing all this
Yeah.
stuff." I thought it was really creative too. And like I said, it's easy to watch because everything is just like your phone or
Would you
your
say it's
laptop or
intuitive?
something. Yeah. Even like little things like she's gonna put the password in, so she just copy paste it.
Right,
I'm
right.
not gonna retype the password.
Yeah. And it's not like it's in real time. So there are cuts. And I think they once, maybe the first time they're like, oh, how do we figure out this password? And then they, go through a bunch of myriad of options, blah, blah, blah. And like that part will take a while because they're trying to figure it out. But once they figure it out, every time after that, it's like boom, bang, bong, 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 cut,
we don't
cut,
need to
cut. Yeah. So
redo that.
yeah, I felt like there's a lot of like fat trimmed or something like that when it comes to things you've already seen. But when there's like a new challenge, they'll take their time on it.
One of the things I was marveling at is that on the screen, there's a lot of stuff.
Right.
Like she has all
Lot of-
those
A lot,
notepad things.
yeah.
And if you look at them, there's a lot of like notes that you didn't see her write, but that you can connect to stuff. And like there's a news broadcast and it says at the bottom, there's like that ticker thing and it talks about somebody called the Green Angel. It's a vigilante.
Sure.
And then another time she's like on reading an article. And then you know how there's like not ads, but like it tells you about other articles
Right.
in the column. And it was like something about the Green Angel. And I was like, look, they've made this whole world
Yeah.
and just kind of put it in the margins. It's really neat because it just makes it feel like a real world.
Right.
Did you catch the articles about the alien invasion?
No. See, that's what I mean. There's
So
like so
that
much
is
stuff.
in this movie, but it's also in Searching. So I think they're maybe building up to an alien invasion.
Aliening?
alien
Invading.
invading. Yeah,
Probing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, was the climax
All
to
shot
this?
on GoPro.
Here's a legitimate question. Would you say the climax of this movie was the taxi cab captcha? When she has to like look at she looks at the bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then the music gets like really intense, and she like clicks the bumper.
So good.
Yeah. I felt that was a climax.
I started laughing. And my
Yeah.
friend turned to me. She's like, I fucking hate this movie. But she liked the movie, but she hated that was like a real scene.
Yeah, it was like so dramatic.
Because that's how it is.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you,
is it?
Yeah.
That's how you
And it's
build
like-
It'd be like that
Does
sometimes.
this count or does this not count?
It
I
totally
think
counts.
they give you a little bit of leeway.
They of course
Right.
do. Yeah.
It's like time's ticking.
Yeah. And if she gets it wong, she might get kicked out.
yeah. Yeah. That's how you build suspense. So how did this compare to Searching?
That would recall remembering it. Do you
Yeah.
remember it, Dylan?
Uh,
Oh, they kind of recap it in the beginning of the movie. They do
yeah,
that.
yeah, they really do. Because they like, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, it really is a sequel. Because I forget that actor's name.
John Cho?
John Cho?
Yeah.
Okay. They show like a photo of him, kinda. He's like covering his face, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is like related because of like the way that ended of that movie too. Everything about that, and then
They recreated it in that true crime thing that she was watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we were speculating, that if it was part of it, then the same way that spoilers at the end of this movie, they make an episode of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the episode she's watching in the beginning is from
Right.
the
Same
Searching
show.
movie.
Unfiction.
Yeah.
Good pull.
Thank you. You want me to compare it?
Well, I don't want to put you on blast here. Everyone, close your ears for this part because this is just me talking to Dylan.
All right, it's been like 3 or 4 years since.
Yeah,
like,
you said Searching was quote unquote whatever.
Searching was it was all right. It wasn't like as memorable as Unfriended, if anything.
Yeah, not for the right reason.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying Unfriended's a better movie, but I'm
Right.
saying like if I had to try and remember a webcam film, it would definitely be Unfriended's the only one I can remember. I remember it being sort of like this, like John Cho's just trying to look for his daughter and finding more things.
He goes on her laptop.
Yeah. And like the
He
kid's
learns
missing.
He learns who his daughter is from the laptop.
Yeah, it's a
You
roles
know?
reverse.
Ooh.
I'm gonna set up like, what movie did we just watch where like they go in and like all the computers catch on fire
The Wedding Hustler.
Oh wait, give me a second. I know this.
and they're like, "Come on, we gotta go."
Is it Devil Conspiracy?
Totally could have just grabbed it.
No.
Breaking.
Jesus Christ. Pause.
Yeah,
Pause.
You
Wasn't
saw this in theaters?
No.
Oh, this is like a home thing. Is it the one
Oh.
with Lawrence Fishburne?
Was it not Mimic?
Mimic
But
2?
no, the one.
Mimic 3.
No, the one with
This is our life now.
Dennis Quaid.
The psychotic one that
Yeah.
was insane. I think Michael Bay produced it, if that helps at all.
Transformers.
That movie is so fucking nuts. You guys gotta watch
Ernest Goes to
Well,
Hell.
don't actually watch this movie.
No, do watch this movie.
Yeah, this is like a truly fucking psychotic film that is forgotten by time, and no one will talk about this movie. But it is one of those bonkers, like, oh, it's Michael Bay producing a Seven ripoff. I mean,
Yeah, it's a Seven ripoff, which is hilarious. Horsemen.
what exactly?
Horsemen.
It's on fucking HBO for some reason. All right,
Like in the movie Horsemen.
the
where-
iconic film Horseman.
Yes, starring Dennis Quaid.
Yes,
What directed by,
I think it's produced by Michael Bay. I don't know if he directed it.
I don't know, whoever
Has a
did.
touch of
Great
Bay to
job.
it.
Yeah.
Some Bay seasoning.
Yeah, but there's a but there's a part where they like bust into the lair of whomever, and once they get in, all the computers just like catch fire and there's sparks going everywhere.
That's
That-
right, because it's a internet like
Forum.
yeah that gathers people to recruits people to be horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
This movie fucking rocks. Anyways, yeah, they said so. That's all. They at some point the police are onto their trail and they just nuke all their computers.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I went missing.
Yeah.
Or died.
Nuke,
Yeah.
nuke them.
Self-destruct.
Just like in the
Way to stick
iconic
the
film.
landing.
Just like, exactly like in the iconic, but cliche for a reason, Horseman from 2006.
What
Who
the
knows?
fuck?
Anyway.
But yeah, so is this a better movie than Searching as far as your recollection goes? Or
I
is it
think
out on
so,
par?
yeah.
Maybe Maybe. I don't know.
I think it is, actually. I remember when I watched it, I was like, they could have done this, they could have done this, they could have done this. And then when I got out of this movie, I thought, this is actually way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was hesitant in terms of like, hey, it's a screen record movie.
Yeah.
But no, it was like radically more entertaining than I ever thought a screen record movie would be, and I was totally just lost in the excitement. It's a thrill ride. Movie's a thrill ride, ladies and gentlemen.
Another layer on top of like having to build apps and having to do all the animation and such. This has to go international. So in addition to doing the original cut, they also have to rebuild everything so that it's also in Spanish, German, French, Russian, Italian, and Portuguese.
So all the stuff on the computer is in a different language.
Because you can't read it. So much of it is reading.
It won't play in another country unless you actually have it in that country's language.
Yeah, and it's not like, a big brainy art movie where you just subtitle everything, because it's like...
Because you have to be immersed in like you're using the computer.
Yeah. It is a very like teenager movie, right? Youth-oriented.
All right. So yeah, I saw this movie separate from the rest of the crew. It was me in a room packed with nobody over the age of probably 18. And I had to move twice in order to actually be able to hear. And
Yeah, it's PG-13. It's not like gritty or edgy. And I thought that this did like a good job not talking down to the younger generation. I looked up the people who directed it, Nicholas D. Johnson and Will Merrick. And Nicholas D. Johnson looks like he's in high school. He looks like a younger fella. Couldn't find their age. It's hard to find people's age, like directors who aren't like really established, unless that's why I got a hack, right?
I was gonna say like for you maybe, but I'm I've got my ways.
IMDb Pro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I actually do have that.
Respect. Well, yeah. Tell me how old this guy is. I want to know.
All right, no problem.
I want to know. Tell me.
They
Tell
have done
me.
like they have like petitioned and stuff to try to pass like, I don't know, some kind of legislation that says that you can choose not to disclose your age because of age discrimination in the
All
biz.
I like when I go on a Wikipedia for a movie and it has like a director's name and there's no like blue link to his
Yeah.
stuff. It's just like, hey, this is a guy who was directed by a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't like a caricature of youth. Like, it's lit. Let's go on TikTok. No cap. My mom is missing. I'm big sad. Like it was seemed natural, I guess. And I don't know. It didn't really have like a computer's bad privacy, super good. Like,
Dark web.
Yeah.
Yeah, after we were like, is this pro technology and surveillance or is this not? Because it seems like, let Siri and Google into your life and
It's like
your
maybe
heart.
how-to on how to stalk somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, because it kind of showed some tricks that maybe didn't occur to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of even-handed because it does show like how vulnerable this girl is who's using her computer and how vulnerable everyone is for using the same password and having your stuff all out in the open, and how easy someone can get all up in your life. But also maybe the benefit of sometimes in an emergency why you might want to be up in someone's life.
And it's also like, delete your voicemail or clear your voicemail.
Well, going back to the narrative, did you guys feel that there were twists in the movie? And if so, how many?
That's a great question.
I did have the feeling at the end, I was like, so did she really she didn't really do anything, right?
Yeah.
She kind of does all this work, but they don't catch the person until she gets kidnapped.
And it's not like if you're watching the movie, you could be like, ooh, this one, that's the bad guy. Because they just keep introducing not just like new information, but like whole layers of backstory and intel to where, by the time they get to the final twist, you kind of don't care.
Yeah, that's what I found. The position I found myself in. Yeah, and I was just throughout the movie, as it gets frustrating to me, like because both of my pet peeves are in this movie. One is, of course, screens on the screen. Right. Fine, I can get past that because it's what the premise of the movie is. Second is true crime enabling people to think that they are smarter than trained agents of organizations. And this movie she's like, no, I'm a teenager. I'm smarter than this FBI pro.
Well, I guess the point of that was just like the FBI agent was telling her, we can't use any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not legal to go into his email.
These are not the avenues they can, but Batman has no jurisdiction.
Right.
But like I think the reason why it upsets me isn't just just in terms of like, no, they would never be that smart. It's because it creates real world problems when people believe this. Like the Idaho murders that just happened. Apparently it ruined, I think it's like over 50 people's lives because TikTokers were making accusations about people that work at university.
Internet sleuths.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets dangerous. That's why it bothers me.
Well, I mean, they did touch on that, right?
Yeah, because they had like other internet sleuths coming up with the theories about the people.
And she's watching them. And
she's responding to them on Twitter.
Off.
Yeah, reporting it.
She's totally being me.
And I guess, so the counter to that, I guess, would be that she was working with the FBI and like law enforcement and everything. She was using just every resource available to her. I would guess it would be the people just throwing out nonsense at her.
That's true. In the news, or the press conferences, she's there with the team. She's in the back, so I guess she is part of the team.
Yeah, she's not. She didn't go rogue.
I'll give them that.
She is excluded from our Sigma of the Year category. She didn't work. She was collaborative.
Yeah,
a little bit.
She did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Still potential girl boss though. So
I just remembering like that she had to do like all these boring things like fill out a form for
like
her missing
person.
mom.
Yeah, and it didn't have her signature at the bottom.
So she had to, so that it shows you how she has to like take her, the little clip of her signature and paste it onto the thing.
Yeah, I'll say it. I'm beating a dead horse with they keep making these movies about the 80s and 90s and 70s because they don't know how to integrate technology into their narrative. And here's a movie that's like, all right, bitch.
I heard you.
all technology, a hyper modern movie, so modern that in 5 years, probably a lot of this, when we just Neuralink and don't have a mouse to click on the computer, will be like, oh, what's this antiquated technology that you were using back then?
You'll get the joy of in 10 years watching
That's true.
it and being like, man, this looks so cool.
Yeah, this vintage technology.
Yeah.
As a hyper modern film, I liked it.
Yeah. And everyone did a good job except for the dad.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What do you
the
mean,
actual dad?
Yeah.
you didn't like
Everyone
that
was
performance?
No. Everybody else did a good job.
The hood reveal at the the Ring camera. Oh my God.
He gives Lifetime movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah. I have a Regal wrinkle for you.
What?
Wait, what's that?
Yeah, this might be a new segment, the Regal wrinkle.
Go on.
Okay, so
Why don't you
how-
explain the premise of this segment before you get into the nitty gritty?
Well, it's a thing that only Regal heads would probably know about or appreciate. Earlier in this podcast, we talked about the Regal Mystery Movie Monday and how they were pumping out just basically whatever Apple wanted to promote, the following week. Guess what the movie was this past Monday? Or rather, 2 Mondays ago, January 9th.
It wasn't didn't we think it was going to be the Emancipation one, which was the
We
Apple
did.
TV one? And we were right? No.
Missing came out
What?
11 days earlier. But nobody was really there because everybody's like, it's just going to be a crappy Apple movie. I don't want to see it.
They
Right.
they shot
Yeah.
themselves in the foot.
So and that's kind of what we talked about when they first started doing the program. We're like, man, they should make it like a cool horror or just
Right.
a general audience
Crowd pleaser.
crowd pleaser. So they finally started doing that and they dropped. But this is after they already lost the audience.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
It would have been 100 kids.
yeah.
It would have been slammed with
Yeah.
people if they would have started with this.
Right.
Every subsequent movie Monday, you'd have a packed house. So.
Yeah, it is a crowd pleaser.
Yep.
So missing, are we hacking the mainframe, or are we gonna just turn off all of this silly technology and move to the countryside where we don't have a Wi-Fi connection anymore, and we just read and connect with people and nature? Remember conversations? I'm gonna log the fuck in, bro. I had a good time on this. It's I don't want to hype it up too much. I think it is pretty, forgettable, I dare say, in that, you just watch it, it's a good time, and it's gone, and it's done.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to, really sit with me for, years to come. I'm going to be like, oh, remember Missing, the second movie in the Searching trilogy? I don't think I'm going to, really be ruminating on this for too long. But, for a real fun popcorn flick, there's a lot of redeeming qualities, and it's a lot more original and creative than much bigger budget, much more shoved down your throat kind of movie. So yeah, I'm logging in. I'm hacking that mainframe. I'm putting on like a garbage song maybe. I'm putting on some of those like black flies, those glasses.
Yeah.
The black flies
Hell
glasses.
yeah.
All of my outfit is pleather,
Mhm.
and I'm hacking. I'm
You
hacking
need
away.
to
I'm hacking the
bleach your hair,
mainframe.
though.
What's that?
You need to bleach your hair.
Frosted tips, baby. And one of those, what are those like those big ball chokers? Those
Yeah.
chokers like big metal balls.
Mhm.
Is there a word for them? I can't imagine it's big ball chokers.
It is now. Hey, have you ever bleached your hair?
No, you know what? This is like, I've never dyed my hair in any way, shape, or form.
He's like, I'll show you a picture.
It's a weird, like, it's not like a point of pride, like I'm anti-hair dye. It's just a little piccadillio of mine.
Haven't
never
gotten
dyed
around
my
to
hair.
it.
Yeah. Justine?
Yeah, I'm hacking, of course. And I'm not an Apple person, though.
You just had
Linux,
To, you just had to get
open
that in
source.
here.
Open
didn't you?
source Linux penguin.
And instead of garbage, you'll put on Dead Elastica song. There we go.
Yeah. But
Ultimate hacker jam.
I liked it a lot, and I feel like it's not that forgettable because I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
I don't know if that searching movie is, I don't know how the mood of it is. I guess if it's like an adult doing it, it has a different feel, I would guess, than this one
I'm
does.
going to recommend it to you then. If you liked it that much, you should absolutely check it out.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if it's like different because it's a dad. It might seem just more like an official sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I did think that it was memorable, and that it made me even think I would like to see that other movie. I did feel very called out by not texting my mom or answering her voicemails, just having like 10 voicemails unlistened to. And I was like, I should call my mom.
She's going to get kidnapped. She's going to get kidnapped in Colombia.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be
Colombia.
dating a person who went to jail with your other dad who was alive this whole time, and they're going to conspire. Shit, I gave away the twist. You
Yeah,
can take that out.
Dumbass.
Funny thing about searching, if anybody listening to this actually goes and watches it, normally when you're trying to show a character being of a certain age, you tend to de-age them. You see that a lot in recent films. But in searching, they had to age John Cho because he's Asian, and so they put a lot of fake wrinkles on him so that he looks like a believable dad to a teenager, which is pretty funny. In terms of missing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to download the Lovely app. I'm going to see missing on the screen. I'm going to swipe right. I'm going to DM sup, and then I'm going to immediately delete the app and never check it again.
I liked it. The next time I talk to a woman on a dating app,
Yes.
I'm going to record a video of myself,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say, hey, what's your favorite 80s band? And then triple text, and then just hope that they answer, and then that'd be it.
Then just like the stuff that she likes.
Well, I'm going to have to hope for the love of God for the first thing I say that whatever I like is that what she likes too.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like it's cheating because in this movie, I don't want to get this twist. But regardless, I liked it. Going to give the MOTY to this one. And
I'm sorry, the what?
the MOTY,
Which would be...
MOTY.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Neil Long. Always been a fan. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I know what the M is.
Oh, I know what the M means now. But the M itself is like an anagram. Okay.
What are some of her past works?
Oh, you got Friday. You got Big Mama's House. It's one of the only two things I remember her, really.
Ken Leung,
Yeah.
he was in the Saw movies.
Dylan.
Oh yeah, he's in the first Saw. I think he's what's that guy's name? The guy from Lethal Weapon. What's that guy's name?
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover's partner. But he's in Inhumans
Saw.
too, isn't he?
Saw 3, Saw 7.
There you go, Dylan.
It's a lot of
Well, those could
Flashbacks.
be flashbacks. Yeah.
I see.
It's the Sodcast.
But no, in isn't he in Inhumans? Am I mixing it
yeah,
up?
he plays Karnak, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Karnak stan. It was passable.
He's also in Force Awakens.
Mm.
But anyway, good guy. A lot of
All right.
stuff.
So we had another surprise as we walked in the theater. We had The Wedding Hustler, which is a movie I had never heard of, but it was playing. And hey, you've been listening. You know what we say in the beginning. We indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theater. And so something pops up called The Wedding Hustler. You're like, whatever, I'm going to go watch it. If you are listening to this not in the San Diego area, and if you are listening to this probably by the time it is published, this movie's probably not playing around you. It was like a very small movie, very independent film. Usually you hear independent film, indie flick. Like you think of it as like a genre almost, like the post Wes Anderson precious kind of this and that. But this is like a regular ass movie. This is an independent rom-com, and I want to say I support the rise of just regular normal people making really aggressively normal ass movies.
Yeah.
I
could do that too.
yeah, go do that. Hey, listen. This is a humble film about two people getting married, and one of them's trying to throw a surprise wedding on a budget, and that's where the hustler comes in. The wedding hustler is a lady he finds on the internet, and he goes to her and tries to help put something together. It is a comedy of errors. Hilarity ensues. Hijinks ensue, if you will, as they try to scramble to put this together. And again, while watching it, you're like, okay, it's called The Wedding Hustler, whatever. You're getting into it, and you're like, wait a second. The flora and fauna of this area are looking very familiar.
Yeah.
Some of these shops and eateries are looking very familiar. Oh shit, this is like filmed in our backyard. This is crazy. And I don't know, it just takes on such a different tone, I guess. You're just like, oh, hell yeah, local folks done good. Full disclosure, we were the only people in the theater, And it's kind of I don't know. It's like, come on, go watch a movie. It was made here, you goofs.
But nobody knew. It was such an abrupt drop, too.
It's true.
And it's weird because we're in North County, which is like a little subsection above San Diego. But no other theater in San Diego, Mira Mesa, which I would have thought would be like the main theater that they
explain why.
Yes.
I'm not going to explain why.
I think you are the one to explain why.
All right. This is a very Filipino movie made by Filipinos. And I was not expecting it. When I walked in and all of a sudden like a Filipino mom started talking and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And everyone else is Filipino on screen. I really was like, I knew I was in for a good time. I was like, all right.
And a good time was had.
A lot of in-jokes and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So that being said, there are Filipinos in this film and they made the movie. Mira Mesa is like not the center of Filipinos, but there's a big population of Filipinos that are around that area and in that area. And to say that they don't have that theater bought out for at least one screen is kind of weird.
Right.
And to just have it in our section, our theater, and another theater kind of above us, I guess, on map.
Yeah, it's like make them come to us, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Right. But in all full disclosure, the Mira Mesa Theater, that is probably the nicest local theater.
Yeah.
I agree.
We just leave out the probably part. It's the nicest theater we got. And I don't mean nice like the Sinopolis bullshit where they bring you plates of fucking shrimp scampi and shit.
I will say the Oceanside one, I think is like more modern.
But it has no soul. Doesn't have the...
I went to the Mira Mesa one today. It was fucking awesome.
Doesn't have a heart.
Does it have a Minions foosball?
Facts.
It has fucking lights on the side, bro. I don't need to fucking see a movie with red flashing lights in
the Ocean.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I've never been to that one. I got turned away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a... Well, we won't say.
They saw you too and they said no. So good.
But yeah, there was a lot of, like how you see a lot of product placement in movies and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
This was welcome. It was so
funny. Yeah, because it's like local, like family-owned chains of restaurants.
And it's like, look this up. And she's like, Venmo me in one of the scenes. And that's probably her real Venmo.
Right.
And it's like, you see bags from stores or they go to the same place to eat a lot. And so it's just so nice to see, that it's not just like Pepsi or something like that where you're like, oh, whatever.
Right.
Trying to get you to buy this car or something. no, just please patronize these local places.
Right. Who, like, chipped in probably for the movie in
Yeah.
some degree, even
like
if it
at the
is
end
just
in the
letting them film
credits.
there or whatever.
They're like, thank you to all these places that
Yeah.
are just like, you can go there.
Yeah, Guam cuisine.
Yeah.
Place that serves it in San Diego.
To your point about it probably being the real Venmo, I would agree with that just because the characters in the movie is all their real names anyway. So like the writer, director, actor, Chris Soriano, he plays the character, Chris Soriano.
Who
in
marries
this.
Hillary Soriano,
Yeah.
also co-producer of the film
Yeah.
about them getting married. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dylan, we've been watching some, like, for lack of better words, random ass Tubi movies
Yeah.
that are like, shot on potato or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, it's fun, just to see people figuring out movie while they're making it.
Yes.
And the extra added layer of this being like local was fun. Like, okay, you know what? A real honest to God. I mean, listen, full disclosure, I am blinded by the charm of this movie, and I could not dislike it if my life depended on me. Too biased. I'm removing myself from properly judging this movie because it was just, smile ear to ear the whole time watching it, just because of the local factor or whatever. But I was like, you know what, though? Really, though, objectively, what did I appreciate more, this or Ticket to Paradise, which is like one of the last big romantic comedies I watched, which we all agree was like just a complete soulless
Cash grab.
Algorithm
excuse
movie.
for the stars to go on a
that's a good
vacation, big budget and all that. And it's like, here's some like boots on the ground movie making. And again, take away the local bias, just looking at the experience of watching the movie. Like, I'll watch this again in a heartbeat before I watch Ticket to Paradise, and I had a lot more fun, laughs, etc. watching this one. It's charming in that regard, I guess, versus the real sleek Hollywood version of it.
And watching it, I was like, I know this is a local thing, but it doesn't feel really budget. Like with the it doesn't feel, but look,
Not as budget as it could be, for sure. I've definitely seen much worse. Again, on film on Tubi, pick a random movie on Tubi, and it's probably more low budget than this.
yeah, it doesn't feel super budget, and with the exception of the sound,
Yeah, sound needed someone.
yeah, if that had been just like more polished, it would have been like a real easy watch. I mean,
Right.
it was an easy watch. I just mean like in terms of production quality or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like really well done, and honestly, like, it was funny. Like it was
Yeah.
funny, and it was lighthearted, and the stakes were pretty low. Just like a nice story.
90 minutes in and out.
Oh my god! So I was like kind of dreading going because I just didn't feel like going to the movies.
Yeah,
that
it was
night.
kind of a later showing, 9:30ish, which
Yeah.
is a great time to not watch a movie.
Yeah, it's just at that time.
Especially when you're walking out of missing, in my case.
Yeah. Brent went back to back. He went missing right into this,
Yeah.
which is just
How much did I miss? Did I miss like 20 minutes or so?
ish. Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I mean, that's the thing is like, you're right. It's so aggressively, basic rom-com that
Yeah.
I didn't miss anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
Short runtime.
oh yeah. So I was feeling like I didn't really want to go, but then I looked in the app and it was like an hour and 31 minutes. I was like, thank you. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
I appreciate a 90-minute movie so much. And then going in there, it was exactly what you could have hoped for. And
Right.
it's like a lighthearted comedy, 90 minutes, in and out.
Yeah.
And then the added bonus of it being actually funny and like enjoyable, and then local.
Right.
Like it was a crazy confluence.
Yeah,
of
and
things.
I feel like this was the greatest gift we gave to ourselves, just walking into it. Because if it was like, guys, there's a local movie,
Yeah.
let's look up all the reviews of it and everything like that. No, it's just, what is this? Just some movie. Okay, whatever. Oh shit. All
Like,
right.
wait a minute.
Like, that's Palomar. Like these
Right,
apartments
right.
like right across from this ramen
Which
shop.
I'm not completely committed to. I like the theory, but it looks a lot like the
Got those
Palomar
rocks
dorms.
from Palomar. Yeah.
And it could be probably, if not Palomar, I think it could be like the same construction team. You know what's weird? This is a side
Same
note,
developers. Yeah.
Since Paranormal Activity got brought up recently. But when I saw Paranormal Activity, which was shot in Rancho Bernardo,
Okay.
which is like, for everyone else listening, about a 20-minute drive from my home. There's like
20.
Yeah.
No, it takes like 40 minutes to get there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you're right. Because it's
it's
south
like
of
50 minutes to get there.
a hop, skip, and a time zone away. But the point being that I was watched that Paranormal Activity movie, and it's all like, freaky. You're in a house, and it's all scary and stuff. And then I come home, and like a lot of the same fixtures that are in that movie are in my house because I think it's just the same construction company, and that's the weird thing when you're watching a local movie.
Oh yeah,
so you like, oh yeah, those are my counters in this. It's not my kitchen, but it looks a lot like my kitchen.
Builder grade.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first thing that I was like, oh, this is for sure Southern California. It looks very San Diego, just like the landscaping.
Right.
You're like,
the flora.
Yeah. But I don't think Palomar has dorms, by the way.
Well, what are those apartments that
They're
are next
just
to it?
apartments.
Yeah, there's apartments. It's like where that ramen shop
There's
is.
no
right.
dorms. It's by George Burger.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shout out to George Burger. Wish that was in the movie. Hey guys, if you're listening, next movie put George Burgers in it.
Yeah.
That's all. Only advice.
So I looked into the writer, director, actor Chris Soriano, since local guy, see like what else he's done. A little bit of a theme to his movies as I was looking through. He's got one called Almighty Zeus.
It's the boxing one, right?
Yeah, he plays.
We looked it up too. I was so entranced by this movie maker.
So it came out last year. He plays a boxer who goes viral after knocking out a guy who attacked an older Asian man and sprayed him with hand sanitizer. Which in turn earns him a shot at the middleweight title. Just like just kind of like random. Yeah, not a specific middleweight title, but like middleweight title.
You're saying he makes movies? Well, so that movie's out?
Yeah, it already came out last year.
Man, I missed it.
The fight, because now this is going to be the theme that I'm talking about. You notice I said hand sanitizer. The fight happens during COVID, so they have N95 masks. Okay.
Yeah, as per the trailer.
The movie before that was called Dynasty Boys. That's a 2020 movie. Came out on March 3rd, 2020. The premise of that is that it takes place during the COVID-19 pandemic, which sees a rise of hate and aggression in the city. A slur turns into a tragic hate crime, and his character must decide between revenge or justice. Now, I said March 3rd, right? This is only 42 days after the first confirmed case of COVID in the United States.
That's really early to make
What
that
did
movie.
Chris Soriano know that we didn't know at the time? You know what I'm saying?
Range in his oeuvre, though.
Yeah.
And he's working.
If you need a COVID pandemic movie, this is your guy. Yeah.
In the beginning of this movie, what you missed also is that they're in lockdown together, the engaged couple. And that's pretty much it. They just show them
reading books and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, even though I rolled in late, like he kept saying COVID over and over in the movie. And I was like, why does he keep saying COVID? Then I looked into his history. I'm like, oh, this guy's just fascinated with COVID, and he's gonna make movies about it.
No, it's because apparently he wrote 3 movies during lockdown.
Yeah, the couple was very productive during the lockdown, and apparently that translates to real life because made some movies. Why not?
Of note, the movie Almighty Zeus, if you look at the movie poster, about a third of it says executive produced by Manny Pacquiao. So I looked into that, looked into Manny's stuff, and at no point did he promote it or anything like that. So Manny, if you're listening, please email moviemasters760@gmail.com and let us know about your involvement with the film. We'd like to share it with our listeners. Thank you, Manny.
Dylan, you know that guy?
Personally?
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Tell him to hit us up.
I'll text him.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
What did you like the film, Dylan? You've been quite silent. Being suspiciously silent this whole time.
I mean, to say I like it, it's an understatement.
I have heard you say that you love love, and this is a movie about love.
I love love. That's true. I'm not gonna lie here. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say I don't love love. I love love. And you know what? Love prevailed. There was a weird fucking middle, like there was a weird, what would you call it?
A tiff, a fight, conflict. Yeah.
A weird conflict that just randomly gets thrown in there, but if works for the story, but just like it doesn't
resolves.
We got 90 minutes. Nobody has time for this.
Yeah, chop.
Yeah,
let's go
real quick. But I liked it. I'm waiting for it to get on Amazon Prime so I can rent it.
Oh, it's on a thing called Freebie.
No, it's already on Freebie.
Freebie. Yeah, like all of his movies are on Freebie.
Oh my
That means they're probably on Tubi.
Because
I'm watching Almighty Zeus.
Yeah, we were watching
sweet.
like the local news interviewed him about
Local man makes film.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be on Amazon Prime like next month." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
They said limited Regal run.
Yeah.
And only San Marcos and only in Ocean
Oh, I
City.
wonder if it's like how you can put anything on Amazon as long as like it's like for like putting an album up, it's for sale.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
But it's apparently not up yet. But you can't. This is why you can't listen to the mainstream media. This is why I say do your own research.
I just realized this San Marcos location is one of the only ones that gets all those Jesus movies. So I think you can just be like kind of an independent or a smaller kind of movie and be like, hey, show my movie.
You know what's messed up is that the new entry into the Left Behind franchise, aka the Sorbo Cinematic Universe, is they're not letting you use unlimited passes.
Oh, at the Phantom event?
Yeah,
That's because it's a big name one of those.
I guess, but Running the Bases wasn't, and Running the Bases was at Murder too, which is crazy. Murder Mall, for those listening, is a different location of a Regal cinema.
It's been mentioned in the broadcast before.
If you have any questions about Murder Mall, hit us up at moviemasters760@gmail.com.
This is your first time. Murder Mall is a different location.
And Murder Mall had Running the Bases, so I think their Jesus movies are a little spread out.
I don't know, but whenever I see any of them, it's always at this one. I'm not saying they don't appear at other ones too. I'm just saying it seems to be an easy location to get your stuff played.
So you're saying if we were to make a movie and our production was named after a Bible verse or something like that, we're in? Okay.
That does bring me to a point, and I want to give this movie credit for saying bitch and shit, thus excluding it from being a real Jesus-y movie, because there's like Jesus-y elements to it.
True, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, is this a Jesus movie? I mean, I'm not, take it as it comes, whatever. But no, they drop a couple, they got some grit to them. So it's not strictly in that camp, but I don't think it necessarily isn't either.
No, it was very casual.
Yeah, secular, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of real.
Man, I want to watch another Jesus movie. When's the next Jesus movie coming out?
Kevin Sorbo.
I don't want to pay,
Pay
though.
$15 or whatever it is.
No. I'm not that devoted.
It's almost like the evil conspiracy has changed you.
That's true. Well, yeah, if that was the last faith, that's my favorite phrase is faith-based.
Yeah.
Faith-based cinema. All right. You got anything else to add? No? Okay, so The Wedding Hustler. Are we renewing our vows, or are we getting a divorce? Me again. I said it up front. I'm so biased. I'm so blinded by the fun time I had watching this movie. You're not going to see me saying anything bad about it. I'm getting down on one knee, I'm proposing, and whatever the family members are, the in-laws, I'm going to just deal with it because that's how much that's how pure my love is for this film. Justine?
I will attend your wedding in my banana dress.
No further inquiries as to what a banana dress is.
I didn't expect that, but that was awesome. Since we don't bash locals here on the podcast, I'll just go ahead and say 6 set, good dudes backed hard.
I'm going to take my mom to this film, and just it's going to be a good time. It's going to be really funny because she's not going to understand why any of it's happening. I liked it.
You talk about taking your mom to movies a lot.
Yeah, I like my mom.
Well, yeah, but how often do you take her to the movies?
Let me put it this way. When his mom texts love you, he writes back, I love you too, mother. He doesn't just put a like, no thumbs up.
Yeah. It says, I love you too.
How many times did you go to the movie theater with your mother last year?
Maybe like 3 times.
How many times did you go with me to the movie theater last year?
Too many.
78.
So, what does that tell you about your
I
priorities?
can't take her to all those
No,
movies.
3 movies.
Yeah.
3 movies is good. That's more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, Easter Sunday, and I can't remember.
Oh, you really took her to see Easter Sunday?
Yeah, remember I told you?
I can't distinguish between I'm going to take my mom to see that and you actually going to see it.
Anyway.
So Easter Sunday was confirmed. What else?
I can't remember. I think
was
Spider-Man last year, or am I tripping?
I think
It was last year? Oh, wait, no, it was
no.
like winter.
Yeah, that was 20.
Well, I took her to watch Spider-Man, but I don't remember when.
I mean, it played into 2022.
I feel like
Yeah.
I took her to another thing, but maybe I'm just remembering something else.
All right, no,
Minions?
No.
I mean, you took it. The big one is Easter Sunday. That
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah, that's one that counts.
And you still have representation in Spider-Man, so let that not
Well, that's
go.
why we watched it. We went.
Exactly.
We got to go watch it. She was mad at that at the Lola part.
What's that?
She was mad in Spider-Man when Ned's
Oh.
Lola showed up.
Why was she mad?
Mad at that. She said it wasn't a real representation. I was like, what do you mean?
And you were like,
That's like a pretty, like, not spot on or anything, but that's a pretty good one. What the hell?
But no, I think all moms would enjoy this movie.
Yeah, it is. I think it was probably made for that demographic specifically. I have a lot of respect for you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Not that I don't.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Not that I don't now. I would have a lot of respect for you if you took your mom to watch this movie.
Oh, I would have to find a good day.
I know.
I don't know how long
It needs to be within the next 5 days.
Yeah.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Dylan,
Yes.
you did a solo mission. Oh my God, he's on the ground. He's going under the barbed wire. He's crossing enemy lines. He's got grenades, flash grenades things. He's got the goggle thing on his head. Dude, this guy is going for it. What'd you watch, Dylan?
I saw Broker. I guess it came out last year, but in theaters, in our local theater, it started playing.
I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen it as well, but it was like it was there for like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
Very very short run.
I
I'm glad someone saw it. I'm glad we were there.
I went and you were
In
out.
spirit. I was out. You were in. I respect it.
I have no idea what Broker's about.
So it opens up and like a mom puts a baby in like I guess their version of like a baby box. Like, they have a baby box, but I think what would you do if you were just trying to donate a baby like secretly?
Yeah, they have it like fire stations and stuff. It's like safe drop off.
Yeah. But there is. I know what he's talking about though. It's like
Like you're abandoning a baby?
basket, like a baby basket.
No, like where you can
That's what I was
safely
thinking.
A river.
you can take a child and you can safely just give it to them with no questions asked. Like if you
Yeah.
can't take care of the kid.
I'm going off of Looney Tunes logic here. They put him in like a basket with like a
Yeah.
blue blanket around it, and they place it down.
Yeah.
the note
And then a dog
inside
befriends
and
it.
and like a necklace.
Yeah.
No,
So it's like a Dropbox? Like you're returning like a Redbox video or something?
sort of. It's like a safe drop off.
Yes. So this mom
Huh.
puts the baby in front of the Dropbox and then put it inside the box. Thus shows you these other characters who are, I think, Korea's FBI, because they're watching the Dropbox. Thus, one of them puts the baby in the box, and then they follow the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the baby gets taken from two people that are working the box, but they don't take the baby to the orphanage. They try to pawn the baby, like
Sell the baby.
sell the baby. That's why it's called Broker.
The whole movie about trying to sell a baby.
Yeah. So the mom comes back and like wants the baby back, and they're like, "Oh no, we have a seller for this much money." And she's like, "Okay, fine." So they all try to sell this baby. The mom comes back in the picture and tries to sell the baby with the two guys, and hijinks ensue. I won't go into too much detail, but that is literally the plot. And the FBI is watching them because it is illegal to sell a baby.
To anyone
Now you
listening,
tell me.
in case you didn't know.
Yes.
Public service
That's
announcement.
that's why the police are there.
But you liked it?
Yeah. It had Song Kang Ho, who was in Parasite. In that one movie about am I thinking?
Is it the host?
Yeah, the host.
Yeah.
And like, I liked his performances in those two movies.
Yeah,
And,
hell yeah.
did a great job here. The other two actors were really great too. I can't remember their names, but the mom's great and the friend was really good. They have a little kid character that they accidentally picked up, and he's funny. And I really liked the passing around of the baby. They pass around that baby like it's just a loaf of bread, and like every time they meet, it's just like it's so fucking funny. I don't know why. Like,
Clarify passing around? You're
Like
talking
they-
about
like-
custody?
well, the mom barely holds the baby. It's weird. They
Okay.
like have the other two guys hold the baby like a lot.
Okay.
Then when they have to like, they either pass it to each other, or they have to pass it to like the buyers.
So like literally
Huh.
passing the baby.
Yeah, they're
around.
literally passing this baby around like a lot, and it's like really funny to watch.
So is this movie more like a drama or more like a thriller? Because there's
No, it's-
crime.
It's more drama.
Okay.
There's nothing scary. It's like a light drama because there's a lot of family comedy base, but not like in your face comedy, but there's like jokes here and there.
This is more like entertaining than like heart wrenching.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now we want to see The Broker.
Yeah.
But did you know it got a gold?
It got nominated for Best Foreign Picture. I don't know.
Okay.
That Argentina movie won, I think.
But it got nominated. And
Yeah.
that's why there's a lot of movies in the theater now. If you didn't know,
Reissues.
that are reissues, second pressings, if you will, of because they got acknowledged in some award and stuff. They're like, well, bring it back, which I think is a great idea. Good job, guys. I just wish that this one was back for a little longer so I could have seen it. But hey, all good things in time, right?
You can look it up if we ever have time to watch other movies.
There was a tone to that.
Dylan, are you buying the baby or are you giving it up for adoption?
I'm gonna help them sell the baby.
All right. He's a broker.
Yeah,
All right.
I liked it. I liked the movie a lot.
Yeah.
It didn't like. I don't know if I'll remember it as much as I would remember like a Parasite,
Right.
because it wasn't like that big spectacle of a film, but it was really well shot. It's well directed.
Go on.
And the acting was great.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that lead actor, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
He's awesome.
Obviously in Parasite, but also the host, so good.
Also, the mom, another nominee for MOTY.
Dang.
Yeah.
Everybody can be a MOTY.
I'm so far behind on like my Korean cinema wave. Like I know there's like happening and it's like been happening.
Korean everything right
Everything. And I am just behind. Yeah, it is.
They had the best karaoke too.
Is that what I hear?
Private room, you know what I mean? You can sing as many songs as you want.
No, never private enough for me to do karaoke.
Really? You never done karaoke?
I mean, I've done it, but it's not a good time for any parties involved.
All right, man.
What do you got in the news for us, Brent?
Well, we've got some more Regal wrinkles. I'm trying to make it happen.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Cool.
It sounds
All
good.
right. So as reported this past week, Regal is about to close 39 locations on February 15th. We reported, of course, on this back in September when Cineworld, which is their parent company, filed for bankruptcy. It's estimated that this will save the company $22 million annually. However, the net debt still sits at $4.84 billion, excluding lease liabilities, as 2022 closed out at roughly $7.5 billion in gross revenue, down 30% from pre-pandemic levels. So, as we've mentioned prior, movies and attendance, it's on the slide, so to speak. Notably, for our local friends, we're losing the Escondido Regal, and we are losing the El Cajon one. But there's also some major cities that are losing theaters. For instance, Los Angeles, the Sherman Oaks Galleria 16, gone. In Miami, South Beach Stadium 18 and IMAX, gone. Boston, Massachusetts, right by the stadium, Fenway Stadium 13 and RPX, no longer going to exist. DC got hit extra hard because not only are losing Gallery Place Stadium 14, they're also losing the Rockville Center Stadium 13, which is just outside of DC. Las Vegas, you're losing the Village Square Stadium 18, and New York City, Union Square Stadium 14, also gone. So major cities, in addition to some of these second and tertiary markets, are losing their theaters.
I don't understand how like closing the theater means that they're losing less money. Just every location costs that much?
Leasing is what the expense is for the most part, yeah.
I guess that would be especially so in bigger cities.
Apparently, yeah. I think that's why you're getting like Los Angeles, Miami, Boston, and all that. It's because like maybe the rent just doesn't justify what the attendance is.
It just drives me bonkers because all this means is it's going to be a big old empty building. It's not like you put anything else in it.
The nutty thing too is there was this weird line in like in the reporting on this that said that all personal property on these locations is going to be abandoned. I don't know what personal property is within a movie theater.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like the fixtures,
seats
and cameras.
Yeah, I guess personal to the theater.
I guess
maybe
the theater's personal property.
Popcorn machines. Is there any Sour Patch Kids?
That's the thing. Is like there's a weird side of me that when I read that line, I was like, so can we go loot Escondido? But I assume they're gonna lock the doors and whoever takes over next, like
Takes
maybe
it over?
takes over. Yeah, I don't know.
Dylan, isn't it insane to think that Escondido isn't going to have a theater fucking again?
Yeah, I know.
How long of a run did it have until like the last theater closed and then the current Regal opened up? I feel like it was at least 10 years.
Yeah.
It was a long run of nothing. It was so insane. I don't know how to communicate this to people, how fucked up the city I grew up in is.
All right, so yeah, walk me through. Yeah, like when you were a kid, did you was there a theater in Esco? At the time?
When I was a kid, it was Bliss. There was
Okay.
at least 3 that I can think of.
In Esco.
Yeah, because there's one on East Valley Parkway. I think they just bulldozed it completely. I have a vague recollection of there being one on El Norte.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there was the absolute legend, the Jewel of Escondido, the Vineyard, which was the Dollar Theater, where I saw Batman and Robin 9 times. I just recently heard a story about a friend of mine who shall not be named almost burning it down while huffing glue in the theater. It was across the street from a Pick and Save. When it was called Pick and Save,
Oh, man.
bro, like you want to talk about just like idyllic summers spent.
Right.
What was that movie about the ice skater and like the hockey player, and they like learn how to
Fire and Ice.
No, it was a different one. There's been a few.
Yeah.
Wasn't Save the Last Dance. It was no. I'll go with Fire and Ice, sure. But like seeing like bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I was like a little fucking teenage boy. Oh my God, delightful. I love that place. But that place closed. I might just be pulling things out of my ass with the El Norte location. The Cutting Edge is the name of the movie.
Got it.
Hard flick.
Sick.
Oh yeah, there's like a catchphrase in it. The 90s so fucking dumb. Because there's a certain ice skating technique because she was trying to teach the hockey player how to play ice skating. She go toe pick, and so throughout the whole fucking movie,
That's right. Yes.
she kept saying that. Yeah, you don't remember the name,
yeah,
but you remember toe pick of her keep yelling it at the guy. Who was the lady in the movie?
Moira Kelly,
Okay, so no one. Who was the guy?
D.B. Sweeney.
Not a damn soul. Just nobody.
Isn't that like a heist guy from real life? Like, hey, I took. Oh no, I'm thinking of
D.B.
DB Cooper.
Yeah. I don't know how we have these movies just bouncing around in our heads. Anyways, and so the Vineyard closed because the whole center closed down. They bulldozed that, and I think turned it into, Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong, a Lowe's and a Vaughn's, some shopping center. And then slowly but surely, the one in East Valley Parkway closed down. And I used to have a friend who worked there, get us in for free. That was more like high school days. I was a little older. Man, that was a desolate-ass rundown theater. Jeez, this is rare. Smoked weed in the back of the theater during a showing of Highlander 3. Ahem. Let me, in case anyone thinks I didn't grow up in Escondido, God damn it, I love Escondido. Anyways, that theater closed. And I don't know what about that other one. Maybe I'm just making it up. But so forever, there was no movie theater in Escondido whatsoever.
Right.
And a fucking mayor got elected because the mayor was just like, I'll build a theater. And we were like, do it.
Yeah.
And they fucking elected this person. And that whole like Regal where it is now, like that's not like moved in. Like they didn't take over a pre-existing building. They erected that. They bulldozed the shit and they put up a theater. And I have never seen that place dead.
Yeah, that's the weird
It's a
part.
poppin' like social hub.
Well, I'll say this because I did a couple solo missions there, and there were always later shows. So when I'd walk out, actually, I did because it's got that creepy like arcade that's always like the power's always off, right? So like all the lights are off. The concession, nobody's at concessions. There's no employees to be seen. So I would just like wander around the building freely, and it would be just like one cleaning lady, and that was it. So I definitely had the feeling at some point where I was like, oh man, like this is kind of. Like not creepy, but I was just like I felt like a sense of doom in a weird sense. Where I'm like, man, this isn't gonna last forever.
Well, trust, bro. Yeah. Turn up on like a Friday night when like a M. Night Shyamalan movie is playing.
Oh yeah,
shit's gonna be different. Shit's gonna be very different.
Sadly, that won't happen again. But and I think like. Man, it's always going to hold a place in my heart because that is the only theater where I've had a woman breastfeed next to me.
It's true. Those kids playing on the tablet during Orphan 2.
And dropping it.
Yeah, just rocking and rolling. Man, don't you motherfuckers, you Sinopolis motherfuckers, you shrimp scampi serving motherfuckers, don't you ruin a beautiful thing and take over that Esco theater. Here's the only way they pull a redemption story. Turn that bitch into a dollar theater. Like a straight up second run. Like
It's way too big.
I know, it's too big, too nice. It'll never happen. And that location specifically has the Limax. It's a fakey IMAX theater. So it's like, even by theater standards, it's big.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Channing Tatum?
It's cool.
I think he's cool too. Justine, are you a Channing Tatum fan?
No.
Very firmly.
Colin, are you? Yes, I love
him.
I love Channing Tatum.
Let me tell you about Channing Tatum.
That Sandra Bullock movie.
I watch Channing Tatum movies all the time.
Yeah.
Wait, is he G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
We're going to get into that. This might bring you around to him.
I'm just waiting for that Magic Mike 3.
Yeah. We never see trailers, but we were early enough to watch trailers at the beginning of something, and there was a
Him and
Magic
Salma
Mike
Hayek, right?
3. Yeah.
Can't wait.
How do they keep making these movies?
Because they make bank. I think the soundtracks do really well too.
I like the second one.
I haven't seen them.
I think it's called Magnum.
Oh my God.
Before anyone pulls my card, there is also an old theater off of Grand by the 7-Eleven. And I believe for a period, it was showing Mexican movies, like movies in Espanol. But then it just closed down. And we have done an escape room there. That's what took up a very old theater in Esco off of Grand. So, I mean, if anyone wants to open an escape room megaplex, which is dead-ass not a terrible idea for Esco. I'll throw that out there. But
It'd have a lot of different rooms.
it'll have some very, very, very high ceilings.
Yeah, Art Hatch has had a run there for like several years as an escape room, and it still works. So there you go. All right, so we're going to talk about a gentleman by the name of Channing Tatum. Colin, are you a Channing Tatum fan?
I think I'm Channing Tatum agnostic, but you know what? I don't think he's flourished into the butterfly he could be. I think he's gone through his hunk phase.
Okay.
And I don't know that he's at the end of it, but I think at some point you age out of a proper hunk.
Sure.
He had as good of a run of a hunk as any. Kind of.
I don't feel like he made
an impact.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, he's got an upcoming movie. It's another Magic Mike sequel. And in doing the press for it, he's actually been pretty open about another franchise he's been a part of. And I wanted to get into that for a little bit because he's just been absolutely burying the G.I. Joe franchise, saying that he'd never wanted to be in it. And in fact, asked to die within the first 10 minutes of it so he wouldn't have to do it. So you may ask yourself, like, well, then why did he do it? When he did Coach Carter, he signed a 3-picture deal with the studio, and there was an option in it where they could stick him in anything they wanted. So he gets done with Coach Carter. He's like, okay, cool. What's next? They're like, G.I. Joe. He goes, nah. And then there was some weird semantics where they let him turn it down 7 times. He says, no, next. They would keep pitching it to him. And then at one point he said, I mean, I like G.I. Joe, but can I be like Snake Eyes or something like that? And they're like, no, we're thinking.
We need your pretty face, bro.
Yeah, we need your face on screen. You're Duke. He's like, yeah, but all right, let me see the script. Read the script. No, I can't do this. I absolutely can't do this. And they said,
know
well,
what a contract is, right?
Yeah. And they said, well, if you read clause whatever, we can cast you in whatever we want you to and have you play whatever we want you to. So we're going to go ahead and exercise that clause and have you do that. So he did it. And then when it came time for Retaliation, the sequel, he said, kill me off. I don't want to do that. And that's how like The Rock, as Roadblock came to be the face of the franchise.
And then it immediately shuttered
Yeah,
itself.
exactly. Yeah.
How many movies were there?
2.
And The Rock was in the second one?
Criminally, there was only 2, and then there was a Snake Eyes solo venture, if I'm not
Which
mistaken.
I liked the Snake Eyes better than I think the other 2.
I liked all the fucking G.I. Joe movies. This is weird that he's bringing these things up, like as if anyone remembers the G.I. Joe movies, period, let alone remembers them as bad.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think maybe it's, when you're talking about Channing Tatum, he's kind of like a hunky, heartthrobby kind of guy.
Yeah, but...
So, what do you talk to a guy about that in an interview? So you did other movies. Let me ask you about G.I. Joe. And he just, let me tell you about G.I. Joe.
I feel like if he had been more into it, he could have made G.I. Joe his hunk guy character.
I think those movies didn't perform well or weren't like particularly
they
well
did,
liked.
yeah.
I don't know.
You're talking to two gigantic G.I. Joe fans with me and Dylan. We watched.
I think you meant you and Justine.
No, we watched one recently, right?
We did?
I believe so. Yeah, on YouTube for free. We started it. Those movies are engrossing. I don't give a shit. The fucking G.I. Joe movies are good. And I didn't know Channing Tatum was in them.
See,
So
he didn't like.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like a role except for the Magic Mike thing.
Well, there was that Neighbors movie that he
No,
was in
never
with
heard of
Seth
it.
Rogen.
You never heard of Neighbors?
No, I
That was a-
never
that
heard
was a
of
big
that
movie.
that you said he did.
Is
before.
Zac Efron in Neighbors?
That's Zac Efron.
My bad.
And then he was in
See,
All right, I don't know
that's
who
just
Channing
more
Tatum
my-
is.
more-
then he's
more
in
to
the
my
Jump
point.
Street movies.
Okay,
21
yeah,
and
he's
22.
funny in that one.
Yeah.
Locally, we got marketed heavily for Dog because we're right by Pendleton.
Right,
so,
right.
yeah, like that we saw his face a lot on billboards.
So he's trying. Yeah. All right.
Anyways, for some reason, he's just been going out and
Just
burying
talking shit on these
like.
movies
Yeah.
that no one remembers. All right.
Yeah.
Good call. I mean, hey, listen. Brad Pitt was never like, I was never a Legends of the Fall guy. That wasn't the real me. I do real movies. No, you just roll with it.
Yeah, you
No,
just keep
like-
going, right?
Cool World was dumb.
Yeah. No, you just roll with it.
Yeah,
What's
come
next?
Do you think because you kind of speculate that maybe he's kind of like the end of the hunk run?
Right, right.
Okay, do you think maybe he's burying his movie so that he can transition?
But that's what
And
I'm
then
saying.
he's
You
doing
don't.
Magic Mike 3. I don't think that's.
And listen up. I don't mean to I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. G.I. Joe been buried. You know how you bury G.I. Joe is you just let it be. You don't dig it. He's digging up G.I. Joe if he's saying bad stuff about it.
Speaking of burying, I've buried the lead a bit because, Colin, I got something that's going to excite you. I've got some inside information about what will probably be the nominees for Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
How do you know?
So we got some backdoor info
You
here.
hacked. You hacked some shit.
Yeah. I watched
You did some
Missing and I
hacking.
figured out how to get into the Academies
These
database.
go off in March, the Oscars?
Yeah, and
So I'm so ready.
there are 6 that I feel confident reporting will be locks for nominees, and then we've got they're going to nominate 10 this year.
Okay.
So I've got 6 that are definitely going to be locks, and then I've got 4 that are kind of on the cusp, and then I got 10 for you that are next up if these 4 drop out. Okay.
All right.
So here's your 6 locks: Top Gun: Maverick, The Fabelmans, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Elvis. So these are for sure. The 4 that are on the cusp: All Quiet on the Western Front. That's that Netflix thing about the war. We've got Triangle of Sadness,
It's amazing.
also on the cusp.
Yeah.
Women Talking, which I think we should see because that
Right,
keeps
right.
popping up on all these lists.
I know.
And The Whale. Those are your next 4, in terms of
Right.
what will probably make it. Now, these are wild cards. If those 4 drop out, these will get right in there. They're putting RRR as next in, which is
Back
interesting.
hard.
Avatar: The Way of Water, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Living, which is another one we should probably see because this keeps popping up. Pinocchio,
Okay.
GDT's
Hell yeah.
Pinocchio.
Goddamn right, GDT's Pinocchio.
Babylon,
Ugh. Again, they just like that guy because he made a movie they liked once.
and then here's kind of the kind of the outliers. Glass Onion, they're saying could get a nod.
I like the people.
She Said they've got on there. A Man Called Otto.
Tom
Hanks.
Yeah, they like Tom Hanks. Technically did come out the
Okay.
29th, December 29th.
Okay.
Technically
Yeah.
eligible.
Yeah, and then the last possible one that could possibly see an entry onto the actual voting ballot, The Woman King. So
So they picked the movies that came out last year.
I don't
Yeah.
the love. I mean, Elvis was genuinely bad, but
Yes.
Top Gun Maverick was just so not Oscar. It's not Best Picture Oscar stuff.
I don't think so either.
It is
yeah.
it's a fun movie. Even I kind of went into it. I'm pretty skeptical about it. I don't have a lot of love or nostalgia for the OG, but it was just yeah, this is a full on movie we're watching here. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but Jesus, it's weird that it's giving between the Golden Globes and the Oscars nod for Best Picture.
Did Top Gun, the original movie, get nominated for an Oscar?
I don't think
know.
so.
You know,
I mean, it's got the
did
right people.
Transformers get nominated for an Oscar? Because that's the same caliber. I'm feeling like a Top Gun or an Avatar is. Even
Avatar-
Black Panther too. I love Black Panther. it's not the better movie
not.
of the two.
Yeah.
And it's not an Oscar-worthy movie either.
No, and I will say that like Avatar and Transformers, yes, those are very similar in tone, I feel. Top Gun Maverick is more of like just a whole lot of familiar. It's more like it's like a Force Awakens or something where you're like, oh, I know this one. This makes me feel cozy inside, you know,
so
like
it's not a good movie then.
no, it
like,
is by no means way, shape, or form like a move in the way that they were talking about, you know, Triangle of Sadness or something, which like says something and has like meaning behind it and like care behind it and emotion behind it. I don't think. Yeah, well, it's craft. Yeah, I'll give you craft again. If you want to give it effects or anything else, fine. Movie is weird.
Yeah, movie's really strange.
To get both Globes and Oscar is an odd one for me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And yeah, just Elvis too. I don't get that.
It was a fun terrible. It's like was fun to make fun of the movie and everything. I was doing Tom Hanks as Colonel Klink as
Still
Elvis's
are.
manager. Yeah, that's like a part of my repertoire now for sure. I don't get me wrong. I am very grateful for the gift that Elvis gave us.
Yeah.
In terms of ha-has, but
at least Tom Hanks gets in there with a legit thing.
Yeah.
With Otto.
With Otto, yeah.
I would.
That's if it makes the cut.
Oh, there's at least 5 movies I would annihilate from that list in place of Otto. The most exciting tidbit on there was the RRR. I like that a lot.
That's on the cusp though. It's like.
And I guess am I being hypocritical because I said if I think that Top Gun shouldn't be on there, but RRR should. That is a psychotic film.
It's not resting on anything except for what it is. Though.
Yeah. I really liked that movie. I guess I just never experienced a movie like that. Maybe there's a lot of them and I just don't know about it. But that was a wild experience watching that flick. So, I mean, obviously, I don't think we're seeing dubs for Triple R, but man, if that gets on the list, I'm happy. That's a win.
All right, so let's say that actually, let's say these 10 hold being Top Gun, The Fabelmans, Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, Elvis, All Quiet on the Western Front, Triangle of Sadness, Women Talking, and The Whale. Of those 10, which one do you want to see win?
I'm not mad at Fabelmans, if only because it's, I don't know, I guess the political choice in terms of it being like a movie that you could show someone and they would watch and they would like. Of those, I would say I like Banshees of Inisherin more. I think that was the best movie. I understand Fabelmans. I'm not mad at Fabelmans by any means. Oh, and Tar, if Tar was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at those 3, but whatever. I think Banshee's a really special movie. I think Fabelmans is too. Tar is more of like that's like an Yngwie Malmsteen solo. You know, that's just like wiggling your dick around at people. Just like, all right, good penis wiggle. But you know, all things considered, I don't know. That's an odd fucking list.
Dylan, did you have a favorite, of these 10 that you would like to see win the Best Picture Oscar?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
If I had to really choose one.
I'm actually gonna join you with that one. I think of those 10, that's the most impressive for me by far.
I still haven't seen it, which is so bad on my part, but I don't know where to watch it. So if I put on a fucking one of these goddamn streaming apps and it was right there in my face, it would have been watched already. And I just wasn't a movie master when it was in theaters. This is my regret. This is why I'm so excited about this year.
You get to see everything.
That's my bad.
Have you seen it, Justine?
No.
Okay, well then knowing that, I would guess that you'd be rooting for Banshees.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of these other ones, and this is something that I hate about awards shows, because it's like, oh well, we can't give it to them for this category, so we'll give it to them for this category when it's not really earned. And so I feel like a Fabelmans, sure, it's it's a fine movie. I think director would be a more appropriate award for that.
Sure.
I think Banshee's Best Picture.
Yeah.
It's just all around.
Screenplay though.
Well, I don't know what they have for screenplay.
Right. I'm just saying if we were to give it an award that wasn't best movie,
doesn't mean it doesn't deserve both.
Right.
It's a good movie.
How many fucking movies have we seen so far? At least 8.
Oh, for the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 8 for the show.
You and Dylan maybe got 9 on account you got extra ones
did
than
solo
us.
missions, yeah.
8 movies so far this year. Seems like this seems low. That's still an insane amount of movies to watch
For a normal person.
for 19 days in the theater. That's the emphasis on that. They're good movies right now, though. That's just my humble IMHO.
Quick tangent on Steven Spielberg, who directed The Fabelmans. We had mentioned in an earlier episode that that will be the last film that John Williams scored for him. And now Spielberg is going to make a documentary on John Williams.
Ah, gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. You're back in.
Make the score for this.
Just breathe. I'll record it. Guess what? You scored my movie. This is all out of spite. I hate you. I hate you so much.
You ruined
I
my
hate you
career.
from the second I heard your stupid notes, your stupid sounds that you make, you dictator. You're a fascist, and I hate you, John Williams. I hate you with every bone in my body. That's how the movie is. Just this insane dialogue.
It's like 3 hours long. And it's just Spielberg
berating
in front
John
of a camera.
Williams.
Yeah.
Never fucking liked you.
It's on a phone. Recorded on a phone.
I mean, he's sitting in his car, like just like forward-facing camera.
I think John Williams is a guitar player at one point,
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
like classical guitar.
His
not mistaken.
grandson is Vinyl Williams, who releases music currently.
There we go.
Kind of an avant-garde artist in a way. But that's news for this week. Dylan, what are we seeing next?
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast. Join us next week where we watch Infinity Pool and Maybe I Do. What? Maybe I do what? Fuck you! See you next time. Bye!